Okay, here's the vehicle. It's a 2011 KIA Sorento. We just got it, mildly used, has about 11,000 miles on it, and my wife brought it home. She said the rear seat was jammed in kind of an upright position. She was trying to transport some kids in the third row seating behind the back seat here, and she couldn't get that seat to release from its forward position. And I checked on some forums and found this seemed to be a bit of a problem, so we're going to take a closer look at it. Okay, here's how I found the seat. Slightly forward, locked in position. My wife was trying to release the seat by tugging on the catch, and it won't release, no matter how hard she tugs on the catch. You don't want to do that because this latch is connected to two locks down at the hinge points by cables, and if you keep just pulling on the release, you'll probably stretch the cables and damage the mechanism. The way I found to release the seat was to pull on the latch while rocking the seat, and at some point the locks release at the bottom, and then you can bring the seat forward. Rocking the seat while just putting pressure on the latch eventually release the latch. That's how I would release a jammed seat in a Sorento. Okay, I've got the seat tumbled forward. We're going to take off this cover and see what's behind there, what that locking mechanism is. Phillips head screwdriver, one screw here. And then there's a bunch of tabs that lock it in, and it pops off. Okay, there's the ratcheting mechanism that's controlling the seat as it rolls forward. We can see it has some factory grease on it, but we're going to tumble the seat back down again and take a close look at that mechanism and see if there's any lubrication we can add to help this problem. Okay, there's the bad boy there, right in the middle, right there. Look at that. That's the latch that locks your seat in the upright position. I'll pull the release and we'll see what happens. See how slow that releases? It's not a crisp action. It's as though you're stretching the cables, and these are cable operated. You stretch the cables and then finally everything moves and slides and then it unlatches. What we'll do, it went pretty slow that time. What we'll do, we'll add a little grease to those teeth. A little bit of white lithium lube in there. It seems a little quicker, but still it would be nice if I could get lube in the cables, but that's going to be a whole nother story. There's two latches. There's one on this side, and then there's one on the other side of the seat over here, and they're both covered. You got to take the covers off to reveal the latching mechanism. I guess I have a little concern about how this is going to be in the winter time when things get cold and stiff. I'd still say it's good procedure. Whoever uses the van, myself, my wife, whoever, kids and whatnot, is to know to pull the latch and then tickle the seat fore and aft, front and back, until these latches release, and then you can unlatch the seat. And we'll see how it goes. I'll lube it up, see how it works. Okay, I was putting it back together, and as I put it back together I noticed that familiar gear pattern up top when I rolled the seat forward. So I'm going to schmutz a little bit of extra grease on the gear here just to make sure we have everything well lubed. Now I already lubricated the other side. I'll get the other side gear before I put that cover on, and then we'll see how she goes. Okay, I got both of the latches greased on this seat, and it seems to work better. It's releasing reasonably well. it still is a little catchy at times. And that's when whoever uses the vehicle has to know to wiggle the seat to get the catch to undo, to release. So we're going to do the driver's side next and see how that goes. Oh man, I stepped in the grease. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm old enough, I've done that enough times and I moved the grease before I stepped in. Okay, after I put the covers back on, got the seat back in place, I noticed something, understanding the mechanism a little better now. If we come to the seat hinges and we look right here at the bottom of the seat hinge, I can see that little latching paw, and I don't know if you can see it opening up there. That's the lock that keeps the seat from tumbling forward. In fact, if I needed to, I could probably reach in with a small screwdriver and encourage it to release in an emergency. It's a good little thing to know. The latch is right viewable, right through the bottom of the slot on the seat pivot. Okay, this is the driver's side seat, and this is a little more difficult because this seat does not tumble forward, so I don't have as good an access to the hinge point. But I realized if I take the cover and peel the cover back a little bit, I can see that same latching mechanism right there. If I lay the seat back, I expose some of the gear track, and then I can get in, get some grease on that too while we're at it. This one exhibits the same symptoms, but it's not quite as critical because this one you're only going to lay forward for cargo. The other one my wife was using for the third row seating. And when you have a bunch of kids in the van and the seat doesn't return, that's a problem. Trying not to get any of this white lithium grease on anything but the gear. Okay, that gets in the paw. And it seems to be a little bit nicer, snappy action. We'll do the center pivot next. Okay, here's the center pivot. It's harder to see, but you can see the gear track revealing itself right there, and it's a double track. They need extra strength, I guess, because this is a two-passenger seat. So we'll get in there and schmutz some grease on that as best as we can. That's the best we can do. Oh great, I got grease in the seat. That's not a joke. Anyway, that was lubricating these pivot points on a 2011 Kia Sorento. Thanks for watching.